Hey, what's going on? Happy Sunday to you. Today we are going to tackle replacing a boob light up here in Kessler's room. We do have everything wired up here so we can hook up a ceiling fan. So we're going to show you how to remove this one. And then we're going to install the Hunter fan. This is the Dempsey Collection. Don't know anything about this. I did not buy it. But I'll see if I can't track down where we got it, put a link in the description. So, yeah, I guess we're pretty much ready to go. If you have a beverage, we're going with the Samuel Adams Just the Haze. Staying PG today. Let's knock this thing out. All right, I hope this camera angle is decent, but first thing we're gonna do is, it should be something like that. You turn it, toss that over there, and then we're gonna undo this nut here. We're gonna let that hang. Okay, we've got a ground here, and this black and this white. Untwist these. Hope you can see that. All right. All right, let's cut into the box here. There's your some instructions. This is gonna have to be mounted first. All right, so I'm gonna sort through all this stuff and kind of just jump right to it and get down to the nitty gritty. So I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so we got our bracket here. We're just gonna line it up with these two little holes. All right, so you rip this bag open with these long wood screws. Those would be the ones that you would need if you want to go the wood route. We are using the bracket, so we're going to take these washers we're going to put them on this so it does not fall down. All right, so I'm going to go get the drill because this is taking forever. We're just going to zip those up, and that should take care of that step. All right, should be looking like this. This thing is nice and secure, it won't wiggle. So we got a mounting bolt here, a mounting bolt here. We're gonna shove these wires back over here. Next step is we're gonna get this, this down rod is what it's called. You're gonna get this and you're gonna feed, see how there's a bar there right in the middle? You're gonna feed all these three wires of the motor. You're gonna feed up into that. We're just gonna stick it to one side. So let me do that and I'll show you what that should look like. Go ahead and loosen this set screw right here. Okay, they are all in there. Try to keep them all to one side. You just do that when you're working on anything. You want it to look clean, but you just need to hand tighten this. It says about 4 to 5 full turns. It's painted, so you might have to kind of go back and forth to get some of that paint off. Get it to actually thread in there. All right, we're gonna tighten the set screw up here. Okay, next we're gonna put this canopy, is what it's called. There's a lot of these things are kind of easy to get mixed up because they all sort of look the same, but it's gonna mount to that bracket up top. We're just gonna, this is basically gonna hide all of this. So we're gonna feed all these wires into here like so. Put our green ground in there. And that should fit over there. And it's just gonna hang like that for the moment onto our bracket. Like that. Now we get to do some wiring. All right, we're gonna get this transponder here. This is how we wire this thing up. It's got the remote on it. This white wire that's got this little, we'll call that a doohickey. On the end of that, we're gonna shove that right there. We don't wanna cut that. And I'm trying to get this in here pretty much like the diagram says. We're gonna have, everything's pretty much gonna line up like you think it would. You got blue, it's gonna go with blue. This green and this green we're gonna tie together. We're actually also gonna put it on this bare wire that's also a ground. The yellow is the tricky. It's gonna go to the black of the motor, and then the black coming out of the wall I take that back. Where am I at here? Yeah. This black on this transponder is going to go to the black coming out of your ceiling. The black coming out of the motor is going to go to the yellow. Then white's going to go with white. So if I misspoke, give me a second. I'm going to wire it all up, and then I'll take a screenshot, or I'll keep the camera there and you can screenshot what you need to if you get confused. Okay, before my battery goes dead, I'm actually going to just go ahead and wire one of these up for you just so you can see. If you've never messed with it, we're going to cut these long wires. I just don't know why they would waste 2 feet of wire, but hey, I'd save that. You could use it for something. Hoard it. If your wife is like mine and tells you everything you save you're hoarding, hoard that mess. All right, trim that one down, and then we'll strip the tip of that. I'm doing this like not the way it's the most efficient, because honestly, you might be in the same boat. You don't have a nice pair of Klein wire strippers or whoever makes the bomb stuff, but a razor blade will work. Use your teeth.
Don't use your teeth. He's an idiot.
Yes, I am. Bull in a china shop. All right, then we will line up the tips of these. They got to be pretty. Take your wire nut here, shove, but make sure the tips of these are lined up even, and then just shove them in that hole and keep pressing in and twist. And it should be nice and snug. And you can even put some electrical tape around this just to make sure it won't come off. But test it, pull each wire, make sure they're snug in there, they won't come out. And that's it. We're gonna do that all around, and I'll show you a snapshot of what it should look like wired up. All right, we are all finished now. So we've got our blues wire nutted together. We've got the black coming out of the fan motor with the yellow wire nut on that. We've got our green and the green with yellow stripe and that bare wire. All three of those are shoved in there with a wire nut. We're going to follow the white wire out of the motor around here. You're actually going to have 3 on this one too. You've got the white coming out of this module here, this remote, and the white coming out of the ceiling. And then the black coming out of the ceiling goes with the black on the green transponder remote thing, whatever you want to call it. Doohickey, I think is what we're rolling with. And interesting enough, the battery on my GoPro is going dead. Not sure if I'm going to finish on this battery, and the power's out. Next, if we go back to our little packets of bolts and nuts and washers, we found the one with 6 bolts. Don't need that one. The 12 is for the fan blades. Don't need that one. For the one that's got just two screws in there, we're going to use this to attach that canopy to the mount, and that should hide all those wires. If we had power, I would say now would be a good time for us to go over to the switch and flick it on just to see while we've got everything hopefully like we want it with the wires. We can make sure that this fan motor is going to turn, but we don't have any power. So I'm just going to have to assume I did it right, but you should have power. So take the time now, stop what you're doing. If you finish the wiring, go flip that breaker back on in the panel, come back, or have somebody just turn it on and make sure that the light's working. We actually haven't hooked the light up yet. That's going to be what this pigtail's here for. But just turn the fan on, see if this thing here is spinning. And if so, then at least you're right with the fan. But now we're going to shove this up in here and put some screws in and hide all this. So it would be wise to check and make sure everything's working before you do that. That's all I'm saying. So we've got our little canopy done here. This is a challenge, and I will tell you, you're gonna have to pay attention to this little dot here. If you try to go this way with this little dot, the holes are going to line up on one side but not the other, and that's going to drive you nuts because it's already hard to get this screw in here. So okay, we've got 3 of these things put on here, these fan blades, and honestly there really isn't an easy way to do this. It's kind of trial and error of you putting the fan blade through this slot and getting one of these. Make sure you got a washer on that bolt, but you're gonna just gently finesse that thing in there. See, it just came out. So if you're looking for an easier way to do this, keep looking, and then when you figure it out or when you find it, be sure to post that in the comments below, because I got nothing for you. Okay, we're putting the light kit on. I guess now would probably be a bad time to tell you that these fasteners, these screws and washers, the packs are labeled by symbols. This is 3 lines. I don't know what's wrong with letters. When did we get away from doing that? I don't know. But we're gonna take 3 of these, take a screwdriver, and we're gonna basically put this little plate. It's gonna say Hunter on it. That's gonna be your next step. There's 3 holes here. We're just gonna pick 2 of them and screw these things in there about like that. Okay. And then where those 2 screws are should fit like this. And then we twist it. Just let that hang there for a second. You can get your 3rd screw. It's going to go in this hole here, and once that's all the way threaded up, come back and tighten these. Hope you can see this. This part of the light kit's going to go up next, and we're going to do the same thing we just did. We're going to just barely thread them in enough to where they're secure. Connect our pigtail here. There we go. Like that. And then twist. Perfect. We can tighten it up. Let's add some light bulbs here. Slide in here with a little twist. That's it. I can't prove to you it works, but that's it for our install. Unless we get lucky and the power saves us. Come on, power. Oh, so what do you know? The power finally decides to come on. And let's give her a rip, Kessler. All right, light works. We are using the remote, by the way, so obviously you'll keep the switches on. Hit the remote again. It dims, right? The light doesn't dim? I thought it dimmed a minute ago. Oh well, fan works, light's working.
That's 1.
There we go.
That's 2.
Oh, 2 speeds on it? Okay, cool, awesome.
And that's 3.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that thing puts off some wind. So cool. Hey, if you made it this far, you finished it. Go you. You're a hero. Hey, give me some light, bro. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with us. We're glad that you got this project taken care of. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. If you have any little secrets, any shortcuts, those are awesome. We welcome those too. We're just trying to help some dudes out, some girls too, whatever. Yeah, so throw us a like and a subscription below so we can keep upping those numbers. I need numbers. We'll see you on the next one.